I was young, I fell in love. We used to hold hands, man, that was enough. Then we grew up, started to touch. Used to kiss underneath the light on the back of the bus. I know your daddy didn't like me much, and he didn't believe me when I said you were the one. Every day, she found a way out of the window to sneak out late. She used to meet me on the east side in the city with the sun on set. And every day, you know that we ride through the back streets of a blue Corvette. Baby, you know I just wanna live.
Welcome to another edition of Neighborhood Watch. I'm Matt.
I'm Abe, because Pat's not here.
Yeah, and I'm Brett. And we are here with Sardar Feroz. Congratulations. Welcome to the show.
Thank you very much, Matt. Thank you for having me on this program. I really appreciate your program where you're bringing voters and information about the candidates to provide better choice as well as better information on their voting for our city council. Thank you.
Awesome. Thanks for being here.
So this kind of concludes probably our
Yeah, because the election's
our
Tuesday.
political shows, right? But it's been great. I mean, I've learned so much over the last few weeks, right? And hopefully you guys have too, right?
Yeah,
Make informed decisions.
I definitely have. It's been awesome, and everyone coming by and sitting down with us and hanging out with us has just been it's been so helpful and so informative. So it's really appreciate you being here.
Yeah.
As a candidate myself, I learned a lot from your shows.
Perfect.
Your videos. Thank you.
So why don't you start off and just tell us a little bit about yourself?
Yeah.
Your background, and then yeah.
Once again, my name is Sridhar Feroz. I'm running for San Ramon City Council. I moved to San Ramon in 2005. Same reason as many others, to provide a good quality of life for my family. My wife Sucharita, she is a pharmacist. She works in pharmacy in one of the local retail pharmacy store, and we have two sons. The first one is 14 years. He's a freshman in high school in Dotty Valley. Excellent. And my second one is 8 years old, and he is third grade in Live Oak School. So we really love San Ramon, because of the quality of life that we can enjoy for ourselves as well as our kids. And on top of it, about myself in the community services career, I've been involved in for last 10 years. And during this period, I've been supporting various sports organizations, also cultural community events. And currently I'm serving San Ramon City as Commissioner for Parks and Community Services since June 2016. As of my profession, I work in software engineering company, OpenText in Pleasanton. And I manage a global engineering team. As well as about my studies, I got my master's degree in software engineering from San Jose State University. And as I mentioned about my community services, like for past 10 years, I've been involved in community services within my residence of 13 years in San Ramon. That shows my commitment for the community. And also, I founded San Ramon Cricket Association in 2008. And in 2016, I founded San Ramon Arts and Cultural Association. And today, these associations as well as the community service oriented organizations are providing a platform for sports as well as cultural events in San Ramon.
That's great. Very involved.
Yeah, that's great.
Thank you.
What made you want to now transfer for city council?
Thank you for that question. I have to give a little bit background. I need to do some time travel in this case.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, when we moved in 2005, things are amazing, and in 2008, I founded San Ramon Cricket Association to be in alignment with our city process and procedures to run a organized sports organization within the city. We had to have that one. So, everything was fantastic. Things were going good until 2010. That's when I received a notice of hearing, petition by neighbors of that cricket ground that we need to stop playing cricket. I'm like, I mean, things are going so good, so what's wrong in playing cricket, right? It's a sport. So when I attended that hearing, I heard some of the feedback and comments from petitioners that made me to realize that there are two key issues going on, right? So the first issue is about our side, that is new community which we moved right into the where we are not assimilating much properly with existing community. So that's one side of the issue. The other side of the issue is definitely there was a knowledge gap that was creating a fear and anxiety within existing community about their safety concerns and their family's safety concerns. So, you know, for me, we all pretty much share 80%, most of our common things, right? Like, for example, me, morning I drop my kid at school, then I go to my work, then come back, pick up the kids, then we take care of the kids' requirements, and every month I pay mortgage bills, then property bills, you know, power bills, water bill, all these things we do pretty much same, 80% almost. But then maybe 20 to 15% we may be different in aspects, like for example, we may eat little different food, maybe we listen to different music, you know, or follow different religions. And to be more specific, maybe we may drink different beer.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, sure.
You may drink ale, I may drink double IPA.
So just to be clear, we like all beers.
I mean, we are four guys drinking whatever, right?
It's like 100%.
So fantastic. So with that thought process, what I did is I started working with the community, and I said, hey, why don't we celebrate our common things and also celebrate our diversity? So that's how I started working in community and bringing them into the fold of more of our events, inviting. That's how I started involving more and more in community cultural aspects. We started charity events, we started diversified cultural cultural events like festival events, all those. So at one point I was just as it's keep going on, at one point, Mayor Clarkson, actually, he saw my passion for community services and my leadership skills executing and building these non-profit organizations. He said, hey Sridhar, we need some diversity in our policy making. All these years, you are standing on one side of the podium where you are taking all the policies. We need to see you to switch on to the other side of the podium on policy making because we like your vision. So, and it made sense to me, right? So then I said, okay, but then I'm a software guy. I don't have much idea about government, local government. So I said, let me first learn. So I joined Leadership Sangamon Valley. That's where I did 1-year graduation program. I learned about city government and how the things run. It's definitely an amazing program where you get a lot of good information. And that made me much better community leader, I felt. Then after that, I joined as a commissioner for Parks and Community Services. It was not much challenging for me because I've been searching and working with our Park City department for so many years in search of the grounds and all that for youth sports. So it wasn't that challenging for me. So I got into Parks Commission, and once I got into Parks Commission, that actually widened my perspective of the city, the requirements, the community needs. You know, it's an amazing how as a software person, once you get into the community services, as you keep expanding, you know the whole city, what are the needs. That's actually made me to think that why don't I expand my community services for the community, right? So when I approached the community leaders as well as community members about my vision, about my ideas for the community diversity population, then community leaders, they all said, yes, this is a good idea. You need to step up. You need to run. Let's add diversity to this our city council. And it's been amazing that if you see today, I have, looking at my knowledge of city finances and management, East Bay Times endorsed me. And looking at my community services and my leadership skills, I'm endorsed by Assemblywoman Catherine Baker. I'm endorsed by Mayor Clarkson. I'm endorsed by Vice Mayor Phil Olon,
Wow.
Council member
That's
Scott Perkins,
Yeah.
and Open Space Committee Seth Adams from Save Mount Diablo, and many more community leaders. They all endorse me and they are all supporting me in this community career path.
Very good. That's great.
Very good.
Well, and I think, I mean, for all of us that have kids, right? I mean, you directly impact our kids, right? Because if any of our kids play sports, right? I mean,
That's true. See, one thing I'm think youth sports are very important. You know, the reason why I think is because the character that built for youth. See, myself, I built myself playing a lot of sports, and I think that is tunes our kids' brains so that they can, when they lose, when they win, when they lose, they can learn how to tune their character, brain, so that in future, in real life, when they face, see, real life is not everything about success, right?
No, it's a lot of failures.
A lot of failures. So when there are failures and all that, they will be able to cope those things easily, much easier.
Sure.
So that helps. That's why I promote big time and support big time youth sports. And for example, like when baseball, Little League, they came and asked, hey, we need to have temporary outfields in earth and downs.
Yes.
You know, I totally understand when a kid hit a home run, the confidence that it builds for him in the game skill, right? It may look very simple, but as a kid, when I hit like a home run, similar in cricket, we used to hit like sixer. I used to feel like, wow, I'm like, yeah, I got it, right? So those things, like as a parent myself and a sports enthusiastic myself, I support a lot on youth sports, and I delivered that so far.
Well, I will double down on that. My T-ball, he's past that now, but the T-ball kid comes in, and there's not a chance in that he's going to hit it over the fence. But if there's a fence, he's gunning for it.
Yeah.
The fences are important. They're important.
Because chicks dig the long ball.
Boom.
So.
Dingers.
Dingers. That's awesome. So, so obviously you support open spaces, right?
Yes, yeah. See, one of my, actually most of my top priorities, they all came from community, pretty much, majority. Because I've been doing door knocking, I touch base almost 4,000 homes.
Wow.
Like I've been doing this for almost from May, and most of that, all the priorities came from community. And I felt that's the way it should be, right? Because I should look at the community needs. And one of my top priorities is definitely open space. I'll quickly give my experience. I grew up in a city back in India, which was a concrete jungle, right? So when we were second grade, my parents, they moved to suburbs so that we can get better life, much better quality of life with open space. And by the time I got to high school, when I was done with my high school, that whole place became concrete jungle. So I can see how our quality of life can degrade pretty fast, you know, if we don't take care of our open space.
Yep.
I've gone through that experience. So for example, like when we had this opportunity like Save Sand Creek in Antioch Hills, I stood with my son in front of Safeway collecting signatures. So that shows my understanding of the importance of open spaces. And not only that, by keeping my kid with me so that he can learn how to protect the open space for himself and his future generation.
There you go.
Yeah.
So that is very important that we teach our kids how to take care of their open space and the importance.
That's excellent.
Yeah.
So what are some other highlights of your platform? I see you brought your, I got that in the mail.
Cool. So some of my top priorities come from safety. Safety is like the first top priority is public safety. You see, like San Ramon is well known for one of the top safe places.
Yeah.
We
Right.
are
Love it.
fortunate to have this kind of safety.
Yeah.
We have one of the best law enforcement department with a good leadership. And recently we had some increase in car thefts and burglaries, stuff like that. So what I did is I started a neighborhood watch program. You know, neighborhood watch program is not something new. It's pretty known, right? But what is unique about my program is I implemented a technology, online technology on top of it. So where, like, we have these online groups within our neighborhood watch program. The groups have the online, and we can communicate with each other. Like for example, I'm at my home, suddenly there is one truck sitting there for some time, then I see like, hey, what's going on here? Like I see some truck in that group, like immediately someone sees and they say like, okay, this is going on. Like we exchange, that encourages to exchange what's going on within the community or within the neighborhood.
Right.
And the beauty is, initially I started as just for safety program, But now, neighbors started using that to communicate about their kids' accomplishments. Like, hey, my kid won this cup and all that.
Great, yeah.
Now, if suddenly neighbor would feel like they are more close to each other.
Sure.
Oh yeah, I know this. Oh, they have this kid. Oh yeah, he won this cup. He won this championship and all that. So that piece I brought it. I'm really excited about that. I want to roll out that program in every neighborhood within our community.
We could be your hosts.
That will be awesome.
Hey, bring it to us, man.
Sure, yeah.
Awesome. That's fantastic.
that's
That's
great.
interesting. I'd like
Yeah.
to learn more about that.
Yeah.
And some other top priorities come from like traffic congestion issues, right? That is one of the major concerns.
Yeah, so with the
Yeah.
new city center
With the
opening
new-
in a couple days.
So yeah,
Yes.
Is it November 8th, right?
November 8th, yes.
November 8th. It's
Yeah.
4 days.
Soft. 4 days.
soft opening.
Soft opening, yeah.
Yeah.
They took the
That,
Hey, so how do we get an invite to that?
yeah. But what do you
Did
think?
you get an invite?
I still didn't get any invitation as of now. So hopefully I'll get invitation.
So what do you think of how the traffic's gonna?
Yeah. See, there are two key contributors for our traffic congestion. One is our commuters. I totally understand their frustration as a commuter myself. So that one traffic. The second traffic is parents dropping their kids to the schools. So let me touch base with parents dropping their kids at the schools. I see that we have a traffics program rolled out as part of Measure J to provide a relief for traffic congestion. You know, the beauty is that you have a school bus which pick up kids and drop off at the schools rather than parents dropping the kids at the schools.
Yeah.
Today we have 6 Sandomon schools enrolled into that, and we have around 7,000 kids. So the math is like around 7,000 kids going to schools for 184 instructional days. That goes almost 1.2 million trips.
Wow.
So that means we are saving almost two couple of million trips for parents. That means we are avoiding that many cars on the street during the peak hours. You know, I really want to see we implement that program. We deploy more in more of the schools. Right now we have only 6,000, close to 7,000 students using it with 6 schools. We need to work on putting more schools into that program. As a parent myself, whenever I go to pick up my son, both kids, it's like I know the challenges for the parents. So
Yeah.
Oh, for
Yeah.
us right here at Cal High, 3 o'clock comes and you have to
Yeah.
stay in your house for 20
Yeah.
minutes before going anywhere.
yeah.
But
So-
how do you get more parents to enroll kids into that, right?
Yeah, so the traffics program right now, we need to expand it further, and we need to encourage our parents, as well as we need to bring in little more non-profit organizations to help us, so that we can educate the parents as well as the community, so we can reduce that kind of traffic, especially parents dropping the students. And the second thing is about the regular traffic. I really support our current capital improvement programs that expanding our Bollinger Canyon Road. You know, see, for me, I'm very realistic and practical person. I don't want to give some vague answers but see, that I'll just bring something and disappear the traffic. No, that's not going to happen. We need to think practically, so we can, right now we added 35% expansion, right? That's already helping to provide the relief, and then we need to continue to support our mayor's plan for walking districts, where we want to see people park their cars a little further the business, and then they can walk to the business. That's one of the best idea that we can do it. And on top of all this, we need to work with our county connection so that we can have more public transportation. You know, like for example, if you want to get a parking in BART after 7 o'clock, there is no way. And also, getting a pass in a BART parking, it takes like a year. It's very challenging.
Yeah.
And on top of it, our park and ride, right? That is near Bollinger and Sandomon Valley Boulevard. That fills up by 6:45 to 7 o'clock. A lot of commuters, they are suffering from that. So
Yep.
we need to add more capacity to it.
Sure.
Otherwise, like people end up driving onto the roads, right? So we need to expand and provide more facilities, more improve our infrastructure, public transportation. So another thing is, whenever we are planning for a growth, that growth should always have a traffic congestion as part of its strategy. You know, like, okay, I'm going to add this growth, whatever it is. If we cannot, I mean, we all think that hopefully we are done with the growth, but even if there is something that comes up, our traffic should be part of that strategic plan.
Well, because you can see around BART all the houses in the communities, and they're building there, right? So you can walk, hopefully, right? And you don't have to park there. But we're still. I mean, I take BART once a week, right? In Dublin, Pleasanton. So, and you're right. If you're not in there by 6:45,
It's gone.
Yeah, you gotta get up early just to get a spot.
So you think we'll build up higher?
So when you say build up higher, in the sense like
in the parking garage.
In the parking garage, we need to figure it out. Like we have actually pretty good transportation department.
Yeah.
We can work with them, and also we have transportation committees. Their whole task is to provide us some good ideas on how we can do some more parking, and so that we add more capacity.
That's great.
So that's on the traffic and the finance side, right? So I'm very passionate about finance. Actually, I got into this finance because when once I requested that, hey, we need like batting cages for youth sports. Then I got the answer that, oh, there is a budget constraint and all that, right? So then I said, oh, let me look at the budgets, right? So once I start digging into it, then I had a lot of opportunity to learn about our budget as well as our general fund, how we are spending our money. So there are two things again in the finance, that is revenue streams, how we are going to generate our revenue streams. That is important, and how we are going to spend it on the expenditure side. So currently, as you know that our retail tax is dropping, right? So there is online sale attack for us. Not only just our city,
but we're on Amazon, right?
Yeah. So the funny thing is, recently there is a U-Haul guy was dropping off packages in my neighbor's place. I saw the U-Haul truck. Then I'm like, I asked him, hey, I never knew that U-Haul started doing online business. Then he said, oh no, we are Amazon. I'm like, why you are? You used to have a white truck, right? Amazon famous truck that every one of us know in the San Ramon. So how come you're driving U-Haul? Then he said, oh, in 2 years we beaten up our Amazon trucks so bad that we all have like 150 plus mileage on them. So now they are renting U-Haul to deliver the packages. Now, you see that when we are, like typically when the tax is collected by the state, but it is never trickled down to the local community.
Yeah.
We are never getting that money, Now, they say that, oh, we are not using your services. What do you mean by not using our services? You are using our roads. When they are like in 2 years, if they put 150K per their white trucks, like one example I'm giving. So like that, there are so many online, and they're using our roads. Now, if somebody steals their packages, whom they call our cops. They're using our law enforcement services also. So we need to definitely work more on so that we can trickle down money into our city level revenues. And another important thing, I strongly believe in community-based solutions. I myself an example. I used to go for a gas anywhere where I can find, like on the way to Dublin or anywhere. But then I found out that gas tax is very important for our revenues. It plays a very key role. Once I came to know about it, now I make my best to see that I get my gas in San Ramon. And when I explain this to many of my friends, when I tell them, hey, you want to have these kind of roads? Oh yeah, we love San Ramon roads. Then yeah, how about our parks? We love it. Then better you put the gas in San Ramon.
Yeah. Okay.
That's the way we can collect the revenue and spend it back.
Yep.
So that is the revenue side.
It's something I learned. So now I'm like when you're driving, you're like, oh, I'm just gonna get gas here rather than go and give
Across
the money
the
to
street,
another town.
Exactly, yeah. So that helps on revenue side, and on the expenditure side, we need to be really smart. There were some mistakes that happened in past where we got hit by pension plans and all that. So we need to be careful. We need to read, study our budgets thoroughly. That way, Like for example, whenever we have to increase salaries for employees, or they deserve it. They work so hard, right? But then I prefer we do salary surveys. That's what I do in my organization. Every time when we do like salary surveys and figure out this is right amount we are giving and all that. So that's we need to. Basically, what I want to say is we need to be wise about how we are spending our money, and we need to be clear on our priorities. So that's one of my strength, finance, and studying in details of the finance.
That's great.
Very good.
You have anything?
No, this is great information. I mean, this is really good.
So it's 2 days from now until the election.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're down to the wire.
Down to the wire. So we are lucky to get you on right, the last Sunday before the election. So, any closing things you'd like to tell the people that are still undecided?
Yeah. So first thing is, please vote. Vote is very important, because if you vote, that means you are adding your voice. That means you are sending a message what exactly you want from the leadership. If you don't vote, basically you are allowing somebody else to make decision on behalf of you. That may be not right decision for you. So voting is very important. Please exercise that, and also do an informed decision. Especially I see that a lot of propositions and all that, it is very challenging, I understand. As a parent myself of 2 kids, it's then we are working and all that, so we are so busy. But please spend the time to read those propositions, as well as read about your council candidates, what they did for your community, how much effort they put in their community for getting to whatever today they are. So that will give you better idea, the right candidate. And also it gives, this will shape up our city. It's very important that we need to be an active role to shape up our city. So please vote.
Yeah. Agreed.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, this has been very awesome to learn, and these last 4 episodes have been like my mind just, blown up with all this information. It's awesome to know. So one thing to ask, if you are so lucky to be elected, we'd like to invite you back on the show to congratulate you and just, let us know how things are going as a city council member,
Oh, that will be great. One important thing that today I feel that communication is lacking here. Lot of when I did the door knocking, lot of community members, the feedback is that they don't have lot of information that's going on in the city. So one thing I would definitely like to continue is to communicate with our community, neighbors, through social media. I would definitely like to have town hall meetings and programs like these neighborhood watch programs, where you are helping us to meet our community members.
Yeah, perfect.
So this is amazing. So I'd love to be on this show any day and any time.
Awesome. You're welcome anytime. So hopefully it's, pretty much after the election, we're going to find out, that night, right?
Yes.
So we're going to know.
Yep.
So again, we want to thank you. If you guys like what you've heard, go on Tuesday and vote. And thank you. Any closing remarks from these 2 gentlemen over here?
No, I would just say, thank you very much for coming on. Thank you for everybody that's come on for the last 4 weeks. It's been great for me. I'm so much more informed. We got through Halloween, right?
Yes, Halloween was great.
Halloween
we got some
was
video
great.
we're going to show from this guy's house. He had a really cool display.
Yeah.
Looking forward to next year when it gets a little more more stuff
more
to it.
features
Yeah.
to it.
And it's just great for, we live in San Ramon. It's a great place. We all want to be here. We love it here. And we had a great Halloween. And
And it's like almost the year's almost over.
Yeah.
So it's
pretty
crazy.
fast year for me.
We're on the march for Thanksgiving.
Yep. So again, Brett, anything?
No, it's just exactly echo what Abe says. It's been the last couple weeks has been amazing. I learned so much, and thank you for being here tonight. Again, learned a lot, and it's I think it makes a big difference when you go to vote.
Yeah.
You go informed.
Well, it helps too because we've now kind of got instead of just seeing a name on a ballot or on a poster,
sign
you
all
actually
over.
have the face. You've talked to them. Like we've gotten to be personal conversations. So it's really cool. So thank you and good luck to you. And thanks a lot.
Thank you very much. I really appreciate
Thank
your
you very
commitment
much.
for the community.
Thank you. Thank you.
Appreciate that.
All right, guys. That's another edition of Neighborhood Watch. Stay classy, Santa Road. Peace.
Yeah, on one important thing I would like to pass this information to our community is about November 8th evening at City Hall. We have a master plan update workshop. It is very important for community to participate in this event because that shapes up our next 10 years of our parks and community services in San Ramon. So please join, provide your feedback, provide your priorities, preferences, so that we can do better job, and more importantly, we will do what is important for our community. Thank you.
Hey, beautiful, 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 beautiful angel. Love your imperfections, every anger. Tomorrow comes and goes before you know. So I just had to let you know the way that Gucci look on you amazing. But nothing can compare to when you naked. Now we're backward into many, got you fed.